Hey guys, welcome back to another tier list video. I recorded one of these yesterday and I actually kind of enjoyed it, so I figured I'd do another one. Hopefully you guys like them. The one I did yesterday was ranking all the Star Wars shows and movies. This one is going to be every Lego theme ever, so this one might be a little bit of a long one. I think it says here, yeah, 188 images. This is up to date as of 2023. This was the most up to date one I could find. So there's probably some stuff off the top of my head that is new, like One Piece, but like I've never watched One Piece. I don't particularly care about that. A lot of the stuff that I care about is on this list, so it's gonna be a little while. I'm gonna try and just burn through this as quick as possible. So we have S through F tier. Anything that I just don't know, because there's like I have no clue what this is right here. Anything that I just don't know, I'm gonna leave on the bottom. And let's just get right into it. Like I said, I'm gonna try and burn through this pretty quickly. Ninjago. Now, as a kid, this would be an S tier. Currently, for me, it would be in like D tier because I just don't care. So I'm gonna throw it in A tier because I just recognize the impact it's had. Ninjago movie. I didn't even know this was a thing. D tier. Whatever. Lego movie had some cool builds, but I don't particularly care about it now. C tier. System. This is, from my understanding, just like the old typical, like before they had themes. Is my understanding of that. I mean, it started it all, but there's nothing special about it in today's day and age. I don't know what this is. I've heard of it, but I couldn't tell you a single set from it. Castle. Now, this one, for me, it's either top of A or bottom of S. I'm going to throw it top of A for now, and I'll just leave it at that. It's something that's like super nostalgic for me. I actually have the Lion Knights Castle on the way because that's retiring soon, and I wanted to make sure I got it because I knew if I didn't get it, I'd regret it. Like I said, this I have no clue what this is. Art. Now, the Star Wars art set that I have up there, if it was just that, I'd have it in like A tier. But that's the only one I've bought. Is that one? I have two copies of it. I have the one up there is Vader, and then I have a Darth Maul one. And overall, I'd probably put it in like C tier. Avatar, I don't care about this. D tier. There might be some good sets. I couldn't care less. Brickheads, there's some cool ones, but no, not that Brickheads. I'd put Brickheads in like B. I think they're kind of cool, but I only own a handful of them. Like it's something where I pick the characters I like. Like I have an Ahsoka one here and the Cody one right next to it on my desk, but I don't have that many of them. I think the only other ones I have is I bought the Mando and Grogu one day when I was bored, but that's all I own. I have no clue what this is. City, now, like the impact it has, but like for me personally, it's like B tier. I think I'd probably put it above Brickheads. I think I'd have it like this. Just like I said, this is pretty much just up here because it started it all. If I was ranking it purely, it would probably be like here because I'm gonna leave F tier for like I think it would be better if this didn't exist type thing. Classic, I don't care. This is Mars mission, I believe. I think that's the logo. I don't think that's. Is that Mars mission or is that just classic space and I sound like an idiot? I think it might be classic space and I'm dumb. Maybe it's Mars mission. I don't remember. I remember Mars mission growing up because that was like the current space theme that they did at the time. Because they like to do all sorts of different stuff like Space Police, the Space Police and like Alien Conquest were like the later ones, but I remember Mars Mission was the first one. But either way, classic space, I'd probably put like there. I probably like it better than City. Creator Expert is I think this is Icons now. I believe this is the same thing. I think they changed the name. Well, there's Icons there actually, but I believe they've just been rebranded. Uh, I I love this. I love a lot of the stuff they do with it, but I don't think it's quite S tier. But and I'll just throw Icons there because like I said, I'm 99% sure they're just the same thing rebranded. DC, I used to like this a lot. Now I just don't care to get the 12th Batmobile that they released, so I'd put it like top of B. Friends, again, there's some cool builds, but I just don't care. D tier is probably going to be the tier where it's just like I don't care about this. Like I don't really have an opinion, but I know it exists and I know some stuff about it. Also, mini dolls, like who cares? Disney. Now, like, some of the castles are cool, but overall, probably like C tier. Dots, I don't even know what this is. Dreams, don't even know what that is. Duplo, I mean, it's not for me. Like, Gabby Zolls, I don't even know what that is. Harry Potter, I don't buy them as much anymore because I have a lot of them from when I was a kid, and it's just something where I don't need the redundancy. But overall, I'd probably put it like top of A. I used to really like Harry Potter growing up. I don't watch it as much anymore, but I've heard of this, but I have no clue what that is. Ideas is really cool. I'd probably put it above Harry Potter for the most part. I like a lot of ideas sets. They've done some cool stuff over the years. Indiana Jones, similar to Harry Potter. I used to really like it growing up, but I probably like Harry Potter more than it. Marvel, or no, Jurassic World. I completely skipped that over. I don't particularly care. I've seen the first Jurassic World movie, and I haven't seen any of the newer ones, but some of the sets are kind of cool, so I'd probably put it there. Marvel, I think this might be our first S tier. It might get moved down to top of A, but I love Marvel. Pre Endgame are some of my favorite movies ever. Post Endgame, I haven't particularly cared, but it is what it is. Star Wars, easy top of S for me. It is what I started this channel for. It's I buy like a Star Wars set a week at this point. Like I'm hooked on it. I love the theme. It has its issues, but it I just love it. Speed Champions. I don't own a single Speed Champions set, but I do have to admit I walk by them sometimes, and I think they're pretty cool. So I'd probably put it above Brickheads, probably above City too. Uh, it's a cool theme, but I just don't have the desire to because I know if I bought one, I'd buy 10. Super Mario. Now I don't own a single one of these, but I was looking through my sets and I found that the Game Boy, according to the app that you scan the instructions into, because I was just going through that, getting my points ready to get the Death Star, it's technically a Super Mario set, and that's I have it right there. That's an amazing set. It is like a perfect representation of a Game Boy. But overall, I just don't like it. They didn't do minifigures. They didn't do anything for it. I think it's not great. But the 18 plus sets from that set from that theme are pretty cool. Sonic, I don't care. Uh, I think probably like there. I think I'd rather have Mario sets than Sonic sets pretty significantly. Like I think there's a pretty significant gap there for me. Alpha Team, I have a vague idea of what this is. Probably like here. I never owned anything. Aqua Raiders. Here's where we're talking nostalgia. I look at these sets in hindsight and I'm like, they are not that great. But I remember as a kid, some of these sets just looked so cool to me. Galaxy Squad. This is not Space Police, so it's not the best space theme that they had growing up, in my opinion. But it can probably go like here. Here. I need to stop being so picky on the rankings in the individual tiers unless they're the higher tiers here, because we got all this to go through still. Rock Raiders. If you know how I feel about Power Miners, this is like the precursor to Power Miners. It's pretty cool. Ghostbusters. I don't care. I've seen the original Ghostbusters movie. That's it. Aquazone. I don't know what that is. Avatar. I I don't care about Avatar. I've never seen it. Ben 10. I liked these growing up, but in hindsight, like I would never buy one of these now. It's like top of F tier. I probably bottom of E tier. Like I said, this would be like, would I want this? But like Duplo, I don't. Duplo's just not for me. I don't think Duplo shouldn't exist, but it's just not for me. So I think I can put Ben 10 in F tier with that. I have no idea what Boost is. Cars is like I own Lightning McQueen because I got it when I was a kid. There's like a Lightning McQueen build, but other than that, I don't really care. Elves, I don't even know what this is. Legends of Chima, this one is probably like here for me. I really like this theme growing up, but I do think it is definitely worse than everything up here. I definitely like Ninjago better than it. Mm, I don't even know what this is. I couldn't name a set from that. I can tell it's a DC thing. Dimensions, isn't this like a video game or something that completely flopped? Exoforce, This was a really cool theme to me as a kid, but now it's like whatever. A lot of the figures are cool though. Next up, I didn't even know that Fantastic Beasts had a theme. Hero Factory was like their Bionicle replacement, and they had a couple cool things, but overall it was nothing special. Hidden Side, isn't this another video game that flopped or something like that? Juniors, isn't this just glorified Duplo? Knight's Kingdom had some cool stuff, but nothing compares to the original castle for me. The Hobbit had some cool sets. No matter how you feel about the movies, I think the sets were pretty good. I have some of my shelves behind me over there, and they're pretty cool. Where are we at? Bob the Builder. I didn't even know that was a theme. Mixels. This is trash. Like this is literally bottom of F tier for me. They're like little tiny figure things that have like bug eyes. They're I don't know. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. I didn't know Dora had a theme. I don't know what this is. Monster Fighters is. Do I like Monster Fighters more than Chima? Probably not. Uh, Monster Fighters was a cool theme. I have some of the sets, but the only one I regret not getting is the Haunted House because that set's pretty cool. But other than that, it was cool. Nothing super special. Nexo Knights, it's a better castle theme than Knight's Kingdom, but nothing special to me overall. I don't think I even own any of those sets. I don't think I was collecting at the time, but I do know that it exists. Galador, isn't this like I don't even really know isn't this like a not real Lego thing? Like I think I've heard of it. It's like not actual Lego pieces or something. Thomas, I don't care. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has some cool stuff, but it was short lived. I think they could bring this back. I think it's like here. It's not something I'm a huge fan of. Where are we at now? Pharaoh's Quest. I never really owned any of these, but Ancient Egypt is cool. Power Miners, S tier for me. This is just the theme. It's probably nostalgia bias. Like if I'm being realistic, like objectively, I think it's a worse original theme than Ninjago. I think if I'm being objective, it's probably like in this area somewhere, like somewhere between below Ninjago and below Indiana Jones, depending on how you look at it. But for me, it's S tier, and this is my list, so I'm gonna put it there. No idea what those are. Prince of Persia is, like I said, ancient Egypt's cool. I guess Persia, not Egypt, but it has kind of a similar vibe to Pharaoh's Quest. Words are hard. Um, Racers is it's not as good as Speed Champions, so I'd throw it like here. But my first set ever was a Racers set. I don't remember exactly which one it was, to be completely honest, but I do remember it was like at a preschool friend's birthday, and I got a little racers. They used to use little plastic pod things. They were pretty cool. But I remember getting one of those, and that was my first set ever. No clue what this is. Scooby Doo. I remember. I know this theme gets like a lot of hype, but I never owned any. So there might be some stuff like you might really like Sonic. You might really like Scooby Doo, that I'm ranking kind of low. But that's just because I never owned them, and I'm literally just basing this off of pictures that I see on the internet of these sets. SpongeBob, uh, completely avoiding nostalgia bias because I remember I used to like go to my friend's house and they'd have the SpongeBob sets, but I never owned any. I think it's objectively like here. Sports, never owned any of these, but it's a really cool concept that I wish they'd bring back because I think they could do it a lot better now. But with what exists, I think it's like bottom C. Stranger Things, I do not care. I've never seen this, and I don't know if I'll ever watch it because I don't watch a lot of TV. But I think it's like there. I think it's probably better than Sonic. Uh, the Lego Batman movie, I don't know anything about this, but it's probably like there because it's Batman alone. No clue what this is. I didn't even know Powerpuff Girls existed. As a Lego theme, I know what Powerpuff Girls is. Simpsons has some cool builds, but again, nothing I'd ever buy. It's probably like below Disney. Toy Story has some cool sets. I think I own like one or two of them, but it's nothing special. It's like around the same spot as Cars. Friends can go below those actually. So can Avatar. Uh, no clue what Trolls is. Angry Birds. I didn't even know this had a Lego theme, but I don't know. Ultra Agents is kind of cool, but not as cool as regular agents to me. Can go there. Let's see where are we. Lego Movie 2. Same spot as the regular Lego Movie. I don't know. I remember those sets didn't sell that great, but I'm sure some of them are cool. Vikings, kind of in my mind, just like worst castle kind of ish. So I think it would probably be like here. Video. I don't know what this is. Video. I don't know. I don't know what this is either. Uh, Mtron. Don't know what that is. Winnie the Pooh. Didn't know that. A Lego theme. Extra. No clue what that is. Lone Ranger. Movie was nothing special, but these as a Lego theme, I'd honestly put it like here. There's like a little mountain set. It's like a mine that I have. That thing is cool. And then I don't own it, but the train is cool. Dino, I don't know. I know what dinosaurs are, obviously, but I don't know what Dino is as a Lego theme, to be honest with you. Alien Conquest, this is one of the cooler space themes, but I'd probably put it like there. I just never really got into it, but I understand it has fans. Games, like, just because of the nostalgia of playing them with my family growing up. I know they're not like real Lego sets, but just because I remember having fun playing with them. Like there was the game where it was like you'd like take a card and try to build it or whatever. That game was really cool. I think it would probably be like here for me. Batman Alone, like same spot as DC, I guess. Like it's the same thing. Regular Agents. This was what I was talking about earlier. It's definitely better than Ultra Agents. I'd probably put it top of C. Um, Nothing super special about it, but mostly nostalgia on that one for me. No clue what this is. No clue what this is. Jackstone, I've heard of it. Couldn't tell you a set. Studios, I think this was like the original Spider-Man sets, kind of. Other than that, I don't really know a lot about it, but I can go there. Wow, there's still a lot to go. I did not realize there was this many. Speed Racer, didn't know that had a Lego theme. No clue what this is. No clue what this is. Maybe I'll go quicker than I thought because there's a lot of these I don't know what they are. Pirates. Now this is probably above space for me, but definitely below castle. It would go like above Chima probably for me. No clue what this is. No clue. I remember seeing the trailer for this movie, but didn't know it had a Lego theme. No clue what this is. No clue. Animal Crossing. I mean, it's okay. Some of the sets are cool, but I don't own any. And then no clue what any of these are, but they all look the same. This is Incredibles. I didn't even know that that had a Lego theme. I'm not gonna lie, so I'm not gonna rank it. No clue what that is. Probably some space theme, but don't know enough about it. I already ranked Castle. I pretty much combined everything together, so not gonna rank that. Fortnite. Now, if it was just the Battle Bus, because that's the only set I own, it would probably be like. Now that set's incredible. It would probably be like top of B. But just because some of the other sets, like the other sets are kind of cool actually. Like I'd never buy them because I don't play that game anymore unless I'm like super bored. But I think I'd be less likely to buy. I'd be more likely to buy a Fortnite set than a Chima set if they were to re-release them. But I think I'd be less likely to buy Fortnite than Pirates if they were to release something cool. Let's see. Don't know any of these. Mickey Mouse has it. Like, okay. Knight's Kingdom, another castle theme. I already ranked that. I was gonna say, I feel like I already ranked that, but I figured it was just some other castle theme that I was getting mixed up in my head. Wow, there's a lot of themes I didn't know existed. Now, this is the castle theme I grew up with, so I'm gonna put it there, because this is the, like, I think it's called, like, fantasy or something, is the technical era for that castle theme. This is the one I grew up on. This one, this is the one that's going top of A, bottom of S. That's the one that I really remember growing up. Now, after that, Space Police. This is the best space theme they've ever made, in my opinion, and it can go bottom of A. Uh, Pirates of the Caribbean. Now, I have not seen all of these movies, but I know the sets are pretty cool, so I'll throw it like bottom of B, probably above the Lone Ranger, just because that new Black Pearl is really cool. Lightyear, didn't know that had a theme. Oh, I'm already past that. I already skipped that. Mindstorms. I can't. I can't even really rank this. Like this is like, it's not a theme that people collect. Like it's more like a education theme. So I mean, based on that, like I'll probably throw it like here. I don't know. It's just like it's hard to rank that because it's like if you're learning to program or something and you're 10 years old and want to do it with Legos, it might be S tier. But for me, it's like I would never buy that, no matter what they do with it. I'm not even gonna rank Agents 2.0, same as the other one. Aqua Raiders. Did I already rank that? I did. Somewhere around here twice. Atlantis. This is better than Aqua Raiders, but not much. Oh, there's Space Police again. I was gonna say the other logo looked weird. Technic, nothing that personally interests me, but I gotta give them credit where credit is due. A lot of the models are really cool. I'd probably be more likely to buy the average Technic set than the average Brickhead that's not Star Wars. And where was the other where was the other Space Police logo? I'm gonna swap that out with the one that I actually recognize just because I want to. Now we are at Monkey Kid. I don't know anything about, but some of the builds are cool. I remember when this was coming out. I think they've already canceled this actually. I could be wrong, so I'm guessing it didn't sell well, but it kind of has a cool aesthetic, so I'd put it like here. Next up, Bionicle. Now, similar to some of the other themes like Ninjago, current me would not buy a Bionicle set. 10-year-old me was all over these things. So I'd probably put it, I think I'd put it like here. I think I'd be less likely to buy a Bionicle set than any of those above it. And I'd also be less likely to buy a Ninjago set than any of those. So let's bump that down a little bit. Now, Creator 3-in-1 is like, it's hit or miss. Some of the models I look at it and they're really cool. I'm like, you could have charged an extra $50 for this and made it like a really cool black box art set, 18 plus set. And then some of them I'm like, I couldn't care less about this. So I'd throw it like just below Technic. Minecraft, I own a couple sets and they're cool, but probably like bottom B. I think I'd rather Atlantis come back than Minecraft. Overwatch. Now I don't know. I don't own any of these. I just remember that they were phasing out Overwatch, I believe, in like 2020 when I was getting back into collecting, and the sets were always on clearance. So I assume they were not that great. But I'd probably be more likely to buy it than anything below that. And next up, we have Dino 2010. Now, there was one of these themes that I never actually. It was a Dino theme that I never actually owned any of. I don't remember if it was Dino 2010 or Dino Attack, but I just remember always looking at the Lego website and thinking they were so cool. Now, I can't even remember which one was which, so I'm not going to rank them, but I just wanted to throw that in there. Lord of the Rings. Now, these sets are definitely better than The Hobbit, and I'd probably put them here. Just a really cool theme, especially if you're looking at some of the current stuff. Like, I'm not the biggest Lord of the Rings fan, but if I was ranking it objectively, it's probably better than Marvel. Like a lot of the stuff, probably just below Marvel. But it's a really great theme, especially a lot of the stuff they're doing now, and even a lot of the older stuff's really cool. Crusoe is just the old name for ideas. No idea what this is. Another Space Police logo. Kingdom's just a castle. There's Mars Mission. This is what I was looking for. Now, I'd probably put it like on par with Classic Space, but Mars Mission was that was the one I grew up with. That theme was cool. I remember they used to have little I always wanted one. I never got a set that had it, but they had a set that you could like it had a little like air pre what what's the word I'm looking for? You like step on it and it like shoots the figure through, and I think they had one that like shot a rocket. Maybe I'm misremembering that, but there was definitely one where it would like step on the thing and it would like shoot a figure through a tube into like a spaceship and all that. Minions, I didn't even know that had a theme. CMFs, now there's ones like the current Spider-Man ones where I buy most of them, or there's some that I will just never even look at. So I'd probably put that around the Bionicle tier. Now, architecture, I don't own any of these sets, but some of them are kind of cool. So I'd put it like I'm probably more likely to buy an architecture set than a Technic set, just because building a Technic set does not sound fun to me. World Racers, don't know what that is. I've heard of it, but couldn't tell you a set. Botanical Collection. Now, if you are asking me, then it would probably go like middle of B tier. If you're asking stuff for a fun activity for my girlfriend and I to do together, it would be like top of A tier. But for uh, for me alone to put on display, I will probably get the bonsai tree at some point, and that will be the only one I ever have interest in for myself. So, here is my very uninformed every Lego theme ever with an asterisk. As you can see, I don't know a lot of them. They're probably just random one-off things that had like a handful of sets for a year. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below. Let me know how much this sucked. Remember, this is my opinion. I stated many times throughout the video, this is not what I think has the objectively best models. It is just what I enjoy and what I have the most nostalgia for. So, thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment down below, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I want to hit 1,000 before the end of the year, and have a great day. Bye.